Fresh out the oven, straight to the bank. Ben's Hager smelling like bank. Seats, somebody died on them. Kitty looking like somebody cried on it. Ooh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Body like cinnamon roll. Icing on the top, if you got it, let's go.
Yes.
All right. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Yes. Today. Praise God. We're gonna be giving thanks today.
Yes, girl.
Today, we talking about the healing.
Mm.
So anyway, welcome to another episode of Grown Ass Women Shit. And I hope all them titties loose. We ain't checked that. God damn
Girl,
it,
we didn't do a titty check. We did not. We did not.
No, if y'all have bras, y'all gonna get a pass today, but the titties run loose on No Bra Wednesday. So today we are talking about healing. Oh my goodness, spring cleaning for the soul. Healing strategies for Black women, because that's what we are, Black women, and we got some different shit going on than the rest of the world, right? And we, Lord, yeah, I hope y'all ready for this one, because I'm excited. This is gonna be off the chain, okay? So I'm so excited. Y'all see a Dale back, but I ain't gonna get into it. I'm gonna pass to Sonya so we can have everyone introduce themselves and we can get this shit rolling. If y'all have some healing shit, y'all may want to go in the room and get your weeping towels and get ready, so we can work this shit out today.
We gonna work it out
all April. Okay, we are working out all April. Go ahead,
because it's not time for spring cleaning for nothing. I mean, it's spring. You have emerged from your winter, and now it's time to clear yourself out. Get ready for what?
Get your ass a spiritual laxative today, okay?
We're gonna clear all that shit out. Just as a reminder, so I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Yes, I am Sonya, the certified sexologist and intimacy coach, and I'm excited to be here this morning for this amazing topic. I'm so excited, so excited. Just as a reminder, we stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. And so you want to make sure that you're locked in so that you do not miss us, because it's going to be on and popping every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And just as a reminder, on the second Wednesday of each month, we have Cocktails with a Sexologist, where we talk about everything juicy and delicious about that bedroom and pleasure, honey, because y'all know that's my favorite topic. So, and then of course the last Wednesday of each month, it is Money Moves with Paz, which is Paz's favorite topic. But we get to talk about that money, honey. Yes, ma'am. So, but girl, today it is No Bra Wednesday. So we are excited to be talking about healing. We have some amazing healers on the stage in the living room with us. And I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves so we can get this delicious topic on and popping. First, I want to start with Miss Adela Banks. Adela's been, of course, you guys have seen Adela on the show a few times, but welcome back, ma'am. And introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
As always, thank you for the invitation. I love being here with you ladies. My name is Adela Banks. I am the founder of Girl Get Your Life Empowerment Conference. And what I do is, in terms of healing, is I create a space, a sacred space, a safe space for women to actually start their healing journey. And so that's what Girl Get Your Life is. I am the conference leader. And so that's my position today. I create the space for healing.
All right. Yes, ma'am, girl. Healing safe space.
Yes.
And of course, you guys know Zoha. Ms. Zoha has been on the show multiple times as well. We are happy to see her back in the place again this morning. Power in a person. Zoha, introduce yourself, ma'am.
Hey, good morning, ladies. Happy day. I'm thinking about it, where it's going to be seen. Zoha. I'm Zoha, and I do wear a lot of hats, but my main hat is a yoga instructor and a wellness advocate. So what I do is spread light, and that is through the means of sharing yoga, sharing trauma-informed wellness. And the biggest thing I have coming up this is actually this Saturday. It's called Love on the Mat. Me and my husband, we are both yoga teachers, and we've created we've created a space for couples to find intimacy, develop trust, and a deeper connection, and broaden their communication through yoga. And it'll be our first group yoga event this Saturday, April 8th. So if you and your partner want to come join us, you can check me out, and I'm sure at my website. So I'm excited about that.
Zoha means light is the website, correct?
Yes, zohamenslight.com. Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Paul.
And her, look, y'all better look at those videos. That shit,
Girl, seeing her
sexy
husband in
shit.
action, it's like, oh my God, what? Everybody like,
Like,
when
how
can I
they
get one of
all
those?
talk
Can
about
I order one of those from
entanglement?
Amazon?
Right.
Everybody want to
They,
know, can I get your
they got
husband
the
from
real
They'll
Amazon?
be there
entanglement.
soon, I'm sure.
Girl, yes, Amazon will be delivering husbands, honey. All right, so and then we have, last but not least, Miss Janetta, who's holding it down with me down here in the South in Florida. Janetta is a life coach. Janetta, tell us all about who you are and what you are up to, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Janetta Nelson, and just like Zaha, I wear many hats, but my primary focus is my business, which is Beyond Your Surface, and it's a life coaching business where I focus on helping people to identify, love, and embrace their authentic self. And by doing that, that's where your healing starts. Because when you start loving who you are, you start dismissing everything else that's happening in the world. And so that's where your healing really begins.
I know that's right. Okay, girl. Like, if y'all don't go get your pencils, go get your paper, and like Pastel said, get your weeping cloth because these ladies are about to drop it like it's hot. Okay, so for this topic, man, I mean, and to me, Pastel and I already knew we were going to talk about healing. But the idea of spring cleaning for the soul, like, I mean, because understanding that healing is something that gets to be done regularly.
Right.
And I know these women personally in terms of, their, them even going through their own healing journeys. Anybody want a presence like for you? What is healing for you? What does that mean? What is it? What you understand in your practice? What is it that we are talking about? We talk about healing because it's just like this buzzword that keeps being thrown around, but I don't think everybody really knows what the hell is that.
I would say healing is unlearning.
Girl. Yes. All right.
She just dropped it like
Yeah.
one word, bitch.
I'm just gonna put this right here. I'm just gonna put this right here. I'm learning.
Wait a minute.
Learn your shit.
Yeah.
For me, healing is
anybody.
knowing.
It's knowing. It's knowing.
Knowing. It's the knowing. Like there's so much power in knowing, like just knowing. And I'll let that resonate for a moment for those who are listening.
Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am. Janetta.
And for me, healing is forgiving.
Girl, you better
You ain't
tell
never
it.
lying.
You better tell it, girl. We don't stop carrying around this bag. I think that's why I've been hearing for the last few days, Bag Lady, because I was like, why does this song keep playing in my spirit? Bag Lady. Uh-oh. Pastel, what was that about?
Right. It was like you needed that. Pa-pa!
I had to flip the whole damn computer over. Shit.
Girl, what was that? But Erica Badu to slap your computer over. But forgiving.
She also played here.
Girl. But yes, forgiving.
Okay, girl. All right,
because that Bag Lady song, I was wondering why it was resonating in my spirit, but it's so much about carrying all this stuff with you. And so often I know for myself that there can be such a self-righteousness about our stuff. It's like, I'm not willing to put this down. But the thing is, it is killing you and destroying anything that you're trying to create. So it's like the dragging this baggage. So yes, I mean, the idea of Bag Lady, I mean, Erica did that with that song, but I don't think we all got the message really as much as we, I'm like, you're gonna miss your bus. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff, girl.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that
Yeah.
includes, I'm sorry, that
No,
that includes
Go ahead,
forgiving
Janelle.
yourself.
that
That's
includes
that
what?
Forgiving
includes
yourself. Yeah.
self-forgiveness,
Yes.
you
Yes,
know.
yes,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
When I
exactly.
think of healing, I think of you know what, I reject when people say I am healed, because I think it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
don't know when the hell that shit gonna pop off. You think you over that shit. Oh shit. I was, this happened to me. I was molested or I was raped or whatever. One thing can come up and send you right back there. It's how you
Girl.
handle it, how you respond
Mm,
to it. It's like you said, unlearning. Like, okay, I'm having this visceral response. However, how will I move through it? That's
mm,
that's the healing, the growth. So
yeah.
Yeah.
for me, growth, like I don't have
Mm,
to respond in that way anymore, because now I know what I
mm,
have to do or what I can do.
exactly.
I have
Okay.
Mhm.
tools.
Did you
Yeah.
just hear what
Yeah.
you said? You said, now I know.
Now
Mm,
I know.
Telling
mm,
you,
Yeah.
there is so much power in knowing. Like,
mm,
I think that we don't always allow ourselves to get that. But when you do, it is so powerful. It is
Mhm.
so freaking powerful.
yeah.
Knowing is no joke.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, and for me, healing is all about transformation. We're talking
Mhm.
about being transformed. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And
Right.
so you handle here, girl. Yes, we gonna preach today. But yeah, so the whole idea that you'll look and you'll be transformed. Like, oh my, I am not the same person. I am not. The way that I walk, the way that I talk, it is. I have changed. But like you said, Pos, I believe it's not something that just is a one-time event. It is a constant healing. And what this book that I love, that's called it's called oh Lord, I don't forgot the name of it. Anyway, it's a book about, I'll remember the name. It's a book about, y'all know menopause. Don't laugh at me. It's a book about emotional self-care. Not emotional. What do you call the box that you put with the band-aids and stuff in it?
First aid.
Emotional bank.
Thank you.
First
First,
aid
First
kit.
first
aid.
aid.
First
Okay.
aid. Emotional first aid. Duh. I'm telling you, the menopause is
We
serious.
understand. That's
Okay,
okay.
you understand. So, but because he explains in the book that we often understand physical wounds, and we know if we get a scrape or a cut, we're like, oh, I need to go get this handled. I need to either put some Neosporin on it. I'm gonna put a Band-Aid on it. If it's too serious, I'm going to the doctor. However, we experience emotional wounding in the same way, but we don't necessarily. You walk around here with an emotional gunshot wound,
Mm.
ain't doing nothing about it, and it's,
Yeah.
it's not going to just go away because you like, oh, okay, time's gonna heal. No, you're gonna wind up around here limping. We know how we see some people that heal without actually being taken care of. It doesn't actually heal the way that you want it to. So
That's the
No, but
biggest part. Go ahead, Zoha.
that reference you use, the scar, like if you think of it like that, all healing is like that. There's so much happening under the surface of a scar. The immune system is getting teamed up to fight off the make sure you don't get infection. The layers of skin are regenerating. All of this is happening before it even turns into a scar. The scar is just evidence that there was a wound.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So if you think about your healing in that way, that yes, I have been wounded, right? Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, but there's so much under that wound that is needs to be worked through in order for me to say that I'm even manifesting a healing or even in the realm of healing.
Yep. T- Time and
Oh yeah.
care. I don't know what happened to Sonya. Hey y'all, we got it. She healing, y'all. She healing. I don't know who made up that phrase, time heals our wound, but it's really about time and care to
Mm-hmm.
heal
Mm-hmm.
the wound. You can't just
Yeah.
let time, that's some bullshit. I'm gonna just
Yeah.
wait this shit out and hopefully I'll be okay. Bitch, stop. You
Well,
need you need to care for the wound.
you know, I recently had a challenge, and I feel like our bodies are sometimes like a car. You get that check engine light. It can be on the emotional side, physical side, and we'll just keep ignoring it. It's like it's flashing. It's letting you know that something is going on, but it could be fear that prevent you from even addressing it, to even acknowledge that there is an issue. And I experienced that myself. I was like, okay, it's going to go away. It's going to go away on its own. It's going to figure itself out. And I'm just going to keep doing what I need to do. And then finally, that check engine light, it was yellow. Now it's red. Okay, why do we wait until it's red to start addressing it? Because of fear.
It's fear.
You don't want to really know what is happening.
I think it goes beyond fear. I think some of the stuff is some of the wounds can be so traumatic that if we open them, we feel like we're gonna die. You know,
there's a lot of shame and guilt around.
Yeah, you're like, if I open this shit, I know I ain't gonna make it because the shit almost killed me once. And if I reopen this shit, there's no way I will be able to survive this. You know, I dealt with the trauma with my best friend being murdered in 2007. And it took me all these years up until 2021 to finally find a therapist who I connected with to really unpack it. And I was on the floor for 8 weeks, you know, like trying to move. And I had just been moving in trauma and it was so heavy. So, yeah, where is my girl Sonya? Can
then we become, because then it becomes a norm, the way that we're coping in life, the way that we're living. It becomes a norm, and then we don't even see what's really going on beneath the surface. And Zoha, I'm glad you said beyond your surface, because that's the reason why I named my business Beyond Your Surface, because there's so much more than what we present to the world. And until we deal with what's going beneath the surface, what's going on beneath the surface, we can't really identify our authentic self, be who we are truly here to be, and live in the gift, you know, that we've been given in this world. But you're right, and I'm so glad you mentioned therapy, you know, because I'm also a master level therapist too. And so finding that therapist who you can connect with and feel freely about opening up about with your wounds and openly expressing yourself is so important. It is crucial, because what happens is a lot of stuff is suppressed, is pushed down. And we think that, okay, we're okay. But in actuality, it's going to manifest in many different ways. It's going to manifest in the fear and the anxiety and in the depression and the anger that we have, you know, the moodiness and all of that. So I'm glad you found a therapist who you could connect with. And
it was a journey.
Yes.
It was a journey. They kept getting, no offense to little white blonde haired girls, but they kept giving me little white blonde haired girls like, oh my God, that's so horrible.
Yes.
Okay, I can't do this no more. That's, you know, I need it. And this is not for everybody. You may find your therapist is a little blonde white haired girl. But when I met a Black woman therapist, and there was so many things, you know, that were understood, that I didn't have to go through those things in therapy. She was just like, girl, I know. Sometimes just girl, I know, you know, was enough to open me up. And I mean, she barely talks during my therapy session. I'm just having a trauma shit, you know, and she adds a few little things, giving my homework, and I'm out of there, you know. But it's excellent, you know. So therapy, big advocate.
You need that avenue so that you can get it out. You got to process it, because what we're doing is we're just pushing it down with everyday living. You know, we're pushing it down and pushing it down. I have to get going because we're in survival mode. We have to keep moving. We have a lot to do. We have a lot of hats to wear. And so when you start talking about it and start processing it, you have all these aha moments. But then at the same time, your healing journey has begun. And then you feel lighter. A lot has been lifted off of your shoulders. So, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm not sure what happened with Sonya, but we're gonna keep going. I
Yeah.
know she drops, but we can talk about it. So how does your this is addressed to Zoha. How does yoga support people with moving through trauma?
Well, I'm going to say this is my own personal beliefs. And so yoga helps. This is not my own personal belief. Let me scratch that, and then I'm going to say something else. Yoga helps people move through trauma because it addresses energy that is in your body. There's all the postures are made for certain processes and energies that live in our body. There's a chakra system that yoga aligns with. That is an energy centered process. But particularly, I believe this is my belief. Now I'm going to come back to me. Um, Black people, we movement based. We like
I
to
was just
dance.
thinking
We
that.
like to, it doesn't have to be yoga, but I think we need movement. I think we need intentional movement. We do a lot of unintentional movement. Um, but I think we need intentional movement, and I think we need movement that is supports our healing because a lot of our movement is we have to move. Our bodies are used for work. Our bodies have been used for work for over 400 years in this country. We usher that thought into our own minds by using our bodies to be physical, to make money. And we see our body as a resource for that, but we don't see our body as a resource for healing most of the
Hmm.
time. And that's when I found yoga, that's what I realized. I was like, yo, I have used my body for so many things, but I have
Mm,
never used my body to heal myself.
mm,
Mm.
that's powerful.
That is super powerful.
Yeah.
That's super powerful. Just speaking on Black people being movement based.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
we
I know
are.
Zoha,
We
you know
dancing
I'm a
everywhere.
dancer. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick my leg up and lose myself in some music, and I don't give a damn who's watching. I did it
Mhm.
last night. I do it as often as I can. Um, the other thing I do, speaking of movement, is I also get still. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
for me, taking a bath, salt bath, just
Mhm.
getting still. You know, people don't think of that as meditation because I've never been one who could sit up there and it's just never. But I can sit in that damn tub and put my
Yeah, that's
music on.
mindfulness meditation.
Yes,
There's different types of meditation. Everybody's
exactly.
not going to get on a mountain and,
Right, right.
levitate.
I think people have been misinformed about what meditation is. There's this one thing, you know. So
Yeah,
what?
no. If anything you do repetitive and that keeps your mind focused can be considered a meditation. So if you're an artist in any way, you crochet, you plant, you do anything that your attention is solely focused in that one thing, you are meditating.
You better break down meditation for the people. Thank you.
And I like that because my meditation is in the shower. It's something about me and water. I love to swim. I love the beach. I'm drawn to water. And so when I'm in water, particularly the shower or the tub, it's amazing what takes place for me. And I also like smells. So essential oils are also very
Yes.
healing for me. Like I rub them on my body. Like they're like, well, which ones do you use? I don't know. My body will tell me what it needs. I just stand
Mhm.
before them and I'm like, okay, what do I need today? I don't judge it, I don't question it. And I believe that when I follow that, I'm healed, whatever part of my body needs it. The other thing I just wanted to mention, because Zoha, you mentioned unlearning. Um, I have this thing about certain commercials. I don't want to hear commercials about cancer, all of that cancer talk. I'm like, as soon as I hear it, I just shut it down. I don't want to hear it because I feel like that energy is coming towards us and it's like telling us you're going to have cancer, so
Right.
we're going to make sure that you know how to address it. It's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to hear that. And so it's like I'm unlearning that stuff because even people in my circle, I mentioned it one day, they're like, why you turn it off? I'm like, because it's like they're trying to tell me that I'm going to have this. And they like, well, everybody's going to have. I said, see, they've already convinced.
They already told you. Mm-mm.
And I'm
Like
like,
you
this
do.
is
Mm-mm.
this is the unlearning piece that we have to realize too, that the stuff that's in our environment, you got to take note of what's around you. and how it's affecting you, whether it's intentional or unintentional, conscious or unconscious. We just got to pay attention to our surroundings as well.
Right. Stop
you have to be the curator of your life. Like,
Great.
You cannot accept things that are not good for you. Just like people who have diabetes. Well, my mom and my daddy had their foot cut off, so I guess I'm having my damn foot. Are you crazy? I will not. I will not. We learn from Quinta Kente that ain't good. You can't run with no foot,
girl. Right.
I'm not accepting that. You do not have to accept your familial traumas. You get to change that.
Girl. Ooh,
you get to change that. Because there was a lot I accepted my mother put into my life. Oh, you don't need this. You just like me. You're going to be just like me. Yep. And I had to tell her, I don't want to be like you.
I ain't choosing this. This is not my choice. Right. This is not my choice for my life. Right.
Because I accepted a lot of it growing up. And she spoke it. She spoke and I accepted it.
That's the unlearning piece. That's
unlearning.
Oh, that's a huge unlearning piece. Having kids and like even getting to the point where you're like, this is their life. This is not my life.
They
came here to live out their path, not to make me proud by taking on the things that I didn't have the, I didn't do. Or like it's hard.
It's
hard
to
really gotta step back as a parent. You gotta mind your business.
Right. Oh, not mind your business.
She's
but really, no, I got it.
Her word because, like me and Science talk about it a lot. My kids are 22 and 16. I had they shit all mapped out. That bitch was like, we don't want to do none of that shit.
None of it.
Now what? I'm getting all this shit like, oh Lord, I'm out of control. I was like, God damn it, they came here to teach me just as much as I came to teach them.
Teach. And that's the thing. I think that we don't get about our new generation. They're here to teach us. And most of them are like, fuck that bullshit y'all been up to. And all the stuff that we like, oh, it's gotta be done this way because this is the way we understand. No, that has not worked. Or this is the next iteration. This is evolving. Yes. This is us taking us to another level. I was in tears the other day watching TikTok because these babies out here they're on some new shit and they're not ashamed to talk about it either. There was this whole thing about, keep your hands off these babies. I'm like, I know that's right. Keep your hands off that baby. Keep your hands off that baby. That baby. They were like putting your hands, and I mean, I know this is controversial in our communities, but they're putting your hands on your children is abuse. It is, so we call it spanking, but there was a whole skit that this young lady did that was like, just continue doing master's good work. That whipping is whipping. Hello?
Making master proud. That's what she said.
She said making master proud. Like, that you're using the same tactics that were used to keep slaves in line. And she said there's no historical documentation that says that whipping actually happened in Africa. That's pre-colonial. That's how you actually disciplined your children.
Whipping just made me faster and smarter. I attribute all of my brains to the ass whoopings I got because I made myself avoid them by getting smarter than my mother very early on and faster than her, outmaneuvering her in every way.
Got it.
It's terrible and it's bad. It's bad when you are a kid and you have an adult that you feel like you're smarter than. Like, I'm like on some level, like I'm outmaneuvering this woman and she's really having a hard time managing this. And I'm like trying not to like frustrate her, but it's like, this doesn't add up. This is 1 + 1 = 3. What are you doing? You can talk to me. I'm rational. You don't have to get me. We can have a conversation. I would actually say that to my mom, and she'd be like, "You getting smart?" I'm like, "No, I'm telling you,
we can have a conversation."
Yeah, like you don't have to beat me.
But she only did what was done to her. That's what she knew.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about, the opportunity to now be able to look at what is it that I'm doing, and does this really work, and what part do we get to shed, what do we get to unlearn, and how do we get to go move on. And so, and just want to comment, I had to restart my whole modem. So yeah, I had to turn the modem off, wait for it to come back.
Your whole system had to be healed.
The whole system. It was a reboot. Oh, hello. And we had to do a reboot. And sometimes that's necessary. How are we rebooting? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Yes. So
well,
y'all been getting it in.
When you all were
don't
talking,
pass that energy around. I don't feel like rebooting.
Children, one of the big pills we have to swallow is when we look at our children's behavior and we're telling them to correct it, but we have to realize that we're looking in the mirror. You know, my daughter used to tell me that, I'll tell her, you need to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Well, I get it from you, Mama. Well, you gotta start changing because Mama's changing. I'm not that person anymore, But it did open my eyes to start really looking at myself, self-evaluating and making, the changes. But by that time, it's like you're full-grown adult. And so it takes time to actually complete the change, but it's the renewing of the mind, as one of the ladies said, it's the renewing of the mind. And so when you catch yourself, and it's so important of just being, aware of yourself at all times. And it's like catching yourself, being self-aware of everything that you do, because that once you catch yourself, you can stop yourself in the process and then switch your direction, change your direction. And so that's also a part of healing, and renewing of the mind, because the more consistent you are and the longer you do it, the more change you'll see occur.
Yeah. When it came to my kids, all I could think is I wanted the parent that I would have wanted.
Yeah.
And I have been talking to my kids since they could hear through every process. Everything, even when it didn't make sense, and I knew they wasn't getting it, and there's still lots of things they don't get. I will probably be saying some of the things to my children when they're 40 years old. I'll be repeating the same thing, and I think that's the biggest thing that when I'm talking to other people is you have to get over yourself. I got to get over myself every time I come to them. No, there's no hierarchy, because when you think like that, then it's like, okay, you're not listening to me. I'm faster, I'm smarter. Yes, there are lots of things that I know that they don't know. There are lots of experiences that I have that they don't have. And I want to impart the wisdom on them in such a way that they want to listen. Not that it's feeling like I'm beating them with my words, right? So I'm just sharing this with you. You had this, if you did this thing, I'm gonna tell you why this is not gonna, produce for you. Okay? And we're going to walk through it. I'm not going to say, of course, I don't like it. If you lie to me, I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it.
Okay.
Oh, I went out.
I hear you now. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, okay. But of course, I don't like it. But here's why I don't like it. And here's why I particularly don't appreciate it. And this is how it can be seen to other people when you engage in this behavior. Now, you can make the decision whether or not you're going to maintain lying. And you need to understand this is the possibilities that this can produce for you.
I know that's right. You better break it down.
I try, because I wish that somebody would have done that with me, because it literally would have helped, because I was that rational as a kid. And I feel like my children are that rational, because I have always been that rational with them, even when they were in Target crawling on the floor backwards. I'm like, okay, well, we both gonna be sitting on the floor because I'm not doing this. I'm gonna sit here and wait for you because this is what we need to do. You're here, and so I'm here. And it took a lot of getting over myself and thinking that worrying about how I look, worrying about what other people think. I can't care about what other people think. My kid needs me right now.
Yeah, and that's great.
That's that learning.
Yeah, right. And
that's that learning Adela's talking about.
Yeah. it's also I like what you said when you wanted to be the parent for your kids that you wanted for yourself. I got that way after I finished raising my child. You know, I didn't even have the awareness, the ability to even think like that because I was thinking like those before me. That was just in me. And I'm like, okay, well, it worked on me. Like you said, those ass whoopings, that worked for me. That worked. I'm like, okay, and I ain't like I can hit her back because then God might smite thee.
Not the smiting.
The smite thee.
Yes,
you know,
might smite.
And then it worked till it didn't. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yes, because I'm like, I think I can take her, but then the Bible was like, you don't want to do that because can you take him? So I was like, all right, so I just got to take these whoopings. So that's what I did for my child. I'm like, you did what? Boy, bring your butt over here. And Paz, you said something earlier about when you were raising your kids, how I was the same way. It's like, this is what you're gonna do, this is how you want to do it. And I only had one. So you got to get this right because you're my only one. All the pressure was on him. He was like, I'm sorry, I don't want this pressure. I'm just going to bow out. I'm going to do it my way, which made everything worse. But one day I decided his life is his life and his journey is his journey.
Yeah.
And when I released it, we were all better for it. I just released it. I was like, okay, no matter what I do, he's just not getting it because he wasn't supposed to get it. He already had it. He wasn't broken. He wasn't wrong. He was doing his own thing. He was doing his journey, not mine. And that was the conflict. Me trying to make him be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're trying to avoid the heartbreak that we know that can eventually happen when people go around without having information. But you can't avoid heartbreak. Like, it's a part of loving. Loving includes heartbreak.
Yeah. And it requires some form of trust, because the other thing that we get to know is that spirit has all of this. And so the same way spirit is talking and whispering into my ear, they are whispering to these babies' ears. And so there is an intuition and a guidance force that is inside that really you get to support them with tapping into, because unless we are listening to that, ain't none of us getting it. So, there's the opportunity to trust God, to trust that I know you got this, and show me what you would have me do versus what I would think I should do myself. But those are two different things. One of them I'm over here reacting. The other one I am almost holding the whole space in love and prayer.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Zola.
Oh, I think it's hard to follow that internal guidance system. For me, it definitely was hard to know when that was my guidance system and to know when that was trauma, because I had so much trauma. They were like schism, they were meshed. And so I had to undo a lot of that to learn what my internal guidance system sounded like. For a long time, I thought if I hear, get out of there, bitch, that would be my trauma. Sometimes it would work, and so I trusted it. Right, but sometimes it was really off. Like, it would be like, "Go for it," and you be like, "No, I'll be dead." Like, I'll be getting kicked in the head, and I'll be like, "Damn, how they end up here? I listened to the voice in my head." Right, but they were the wires were so crossed because my beliefs were messed up. I thought people who loved you did certain things. I thought love looked a certain way. I thought people communicated that if somebody screamed at you, they were really cared about you. They just wanted to communicate with you. So I had to unlearn all these ways of being that were telling me that I was, safe when I knew I wasn't safe.
Right.
I was safe. I was safe in a way that I knew this, but I was not safe. I knew and I understood the behavior, but I was really unsafe.
Yeah, got it. Janetta, you had something you wanted to add.
About the spirituality. That is one of the keys to our healing process, because I've been through trauma, and I'm trying to say this so that it won't come out the wrong way. But basically, everything we go through in life, it will either bring us great experiences or great lessons. And even some of the most traumatic experiences that we have in life is something for us to learn. But in order for us to see what we're to learn, we have to be spiritually centered. And let me explain how I can say that with confidence. 3 years ago, come July, my one and only child transitioned. Okay. That was traumatic. Okay.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, I was able to maintain my spiritual centeredness. Now why it happened, I do not know. What I'm supposed to learn from it, I do not know. But I know that there's a reason why it happened at the time it happened. And so because of my strong spirituality, I've been able to move forward. And I think I'm doing pretty good with it, And in that, dealing with that trauma, I allowed myself to feel what I wanted and feel what I needed to feel in the moment. But at the same time, Lord, give me the peace that I need to make it through this moment. Okay. What am I supposed to get out of this right now? And instantly I get my peace and I'm okay. I still don't understand why it happened, which with a lot of trauma, we don't understand why it happens. Right. We may not ever understand why. But what I did learn is I learned more about myself. And I was able to find myself through this, because when I'm describing my daughters, I lied to you not, January 2022 is when it hit me. Oh my gosh, I'm describing myself. And that's when Janana was reborn. And so when we're dealing with the emotions attached to trauma, dealing with all the mental agony that we go through, we need to take a deep breath, sit back, go take a hot bath. There are times where I literally felt like there was this darkness that just completely overtook my body. And I would go and take a nice hot bath with some salt water, light some candles, and I promise you, when I came out, I was a different person. It completely, it was completely dismissed. And so finding what your meditation is, and I'm so glad, Zoha, that you said that, because I didn't even think of it that way. Of meditation being other than just sitting, and breathing. I didn't even think of it that way. But finding what your meditation is and what works for you, would get you through those moments.
Girl, thank you. Thanks for sharing that, Janetta. Yeah, and so sorry for your baby.
Yes, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, me too. Yes. Sonia and Paul, I just thank you all for just having this platform, because this gives those people like me who didn't have these opportunities to see something different, to hear something different, to relate in ways that they may not get this no other way. This might be it. And so I thank you all for even creating.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm learning as we speak. I'm just sitting up here,
like, just mouth open. Yeah, we talk about what we get from.
I'm eating my spiritual popcorn right now. I'm like, oh shit, let me go. Right. I got some shit to do with my kids later,
girl. And so, and I feel like that this is actually was coming up for me, was to also ask you ladies to speak on then going to get support while you're healing, because I think that's another space. Yes, there's an inside me, do it myself, and there is the being able to be supported by somebody, because all wisdom is not, yes, sometimes, like Zoha said, you can't get to it because you're so enmeshed with the trauma. So what do you speak on being able to be in places and spaces in front of people that can support you with working through that too?
So that's where Girl Get Your Life, it was born out of that statement that question you just asked, because I realized that I don't have the answers, but I know so many people in my circle of influence that do. And so we congregate, we come together in one space, and it's like a buffet, if you will, for those who you're not sure what you need. I promise you get to Girl Get Your Life, your healing will at least start. in this space. I promise you that it has never failed. So that's what happened for me, just creating opportunities for others and myself.
Yeah. What about you other ladies? Zoha, Jeanette, I know you work with people all the time in terms of them needing to use you as a source.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeanette.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Zoha.
No. You was already in it, girl. Go.
They're so polite.
I know, right?
Well, we did speak on it earlier. Is surrounding yourself first of all with people who are going to help you get to the next step. Okay, people who are going to encourage you. You want to avoid those who want to criticize, break you down, or do whatever. I don't like to focus on that part, but surround yourself with those types of people. And sometimes it's difficult to eliminate or what's the word? Wean people out of your life, not weed, but wean people out of your life, but really putting yourself first and knowing who deserves to be on the front row seat of your life is very, very important, because this is your theater of life and you're always front and center stage every day, every minute of the day. And those people who are on the front row seat of your life are the ones who are going to have your back when you're falling. They're going to have your back when you have fallen. Okay, they're going to be your roots. So you want to surround yourself with those people. And then, as Dr. Poss was saying earlier, you have to, if you need to get professional help, there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting professional help. They're not trying to get in your head. They're there to help you get to the next step. But you have to view it that way and not view it the way that everyone has told you and taught you how to view it. So surrounding yourself with the people who are going to help you get to the next step. And before you know it, you would have taken about 20 steps and you've started your journey.
Got it. All right. So, girl, I forgot I missed the whole segment of the conversation. I'm like, I should have known that y'all had to handle that already. Like, hey, you had already talked about that. So,
yeah. I was in therapy since I was 16 to 35. I am a huge advocate for therapy. But get a therapist, like Pastel said, that you want to share with. For the first 10 years of therapy, I kind of just played with my therapist. I'm going to be honest. I can be devious. I know who I am. I kind of just went in and it was like under the guise, I'm going to therapy, like that. I was in my shit. I was characterized me, ho. And then I got into a space where I really needed help. My life was falling apart. And I was like, bitch, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're a dummy. Because your shit is wrecked.
I'm just letting you know I'm taking that.
Right, you need a smarter.
You a dummy. Ooh,
yeah,
ooh.
You need smarter people.
Period.
And so I was like, let me get a therapist that I actually feel comfortable with and I want to share with, and I can unpack a lot of this stuff with. And so I did, and it changed the way that I viewed therapy. It changed the way that I viewed unburdening myself in a way, because for a long time I thought, well, she just want to know, like you said, Janetta, they just want to know my business. They want to diagnose me. They want to tell me, that stuff. I was so worried about being put on medicine, because early on when I went to therapy, that's what they did. They were like, put her on medicine, put her on the young women's mental ward. And I'm like, damn, I'm just sharing my experiences. I'm crazy. Right. But I was a teenager, and I think it was overwhelming for white body therapists to hear some of the experiences that I had. And so in their head, they was like, lock her up because she need help. This sounds like a damn movie. But get therapy. Also, like Janetta said, have like-minded people around you who promote your wellness, who want you to do better, who want the best for you. If you find that you're around people who are always cutting you down, competing with you, get rid of that ass. I don't want to compete with the people around me. I want us all to be comfortable to shine
Yeah.
and to be ourselves, our best selves when we're around each other. And also think about the other healing modalities that are out there, Reiki, um, uh, like other Asian therapies that are out there. There's so much. The float therapy, I love that. There's so many different avenues that you could do to do wellness. It's not just the one thing. So when I say when I ask people to come to the practice of yoga, I ask them to come with an open mind that maybe yoga is not the thing, but it will lead you to the thing.
There you go.
It's not always about you becoming a yogi. I did not come to yoga because I was becoming a yogi. I came to yoga because I was in pole class and I wanted to do splits and I was still flexible. So I was like, I saw the yogis on the internet and I was like, I want to bust it down like them. You know what I'm saying? But it's pole because that's where my head was at. And I was like, I need to do that. And then I got to yoga and I was like, I'm home. I don't need. I haven't been on the pole since. I was like, pole was fun, but it wasn't for me. Yeah. You'll never know where you're going to get it from. You never know.
Thank you for. I like Zoha that you said that about being home, because I think that's the thing that we also get to recognize. Like, you'll know when you feel that it's like, this is what my soul needed. And so we get to keep looking and see, what is it? What's the food? What do I need to be fed? What is the food that my heart is looking for, that my soul is looking for? And you know, when you feel that ache or that hunger, like somehow something's missing, and then you keep looking until you come upon it, and you trust where you're being led, because the pole, you like, okay, I like to jokingly say that spirit teases me with keys. It's like dangling something shiny in front of me. I think I'm going to get the keys, like you do with a toddler. You're like, come get the keys. You're not trying to get the kid keys. You're trying to get them to walk. So I say that's how spirit gets me to walk. Hang something shiny in front of myself, like, oh, don't you want to bust it down and do these splits? Yes, I want splits, Lord. And then you just you follow that, but it's going to lead you in the direction of your healing.
Right. Yes.
I want to add something. Zoha mentioned surrounding yourself around like people. I also want to add, please do not ignore multiple messengers. People may be giving you feedback that you might not necessarily want to hear. And those of us who have multiple children know they will fuck you up and tell you some shit about yourself that you do not want to hear, and you can't throw them away. Please listen to those messages. It is not, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And so Jane said this and I ain't like it. Then Jim said it. Then Lynn. Then Shaquisha. All of them ain't lying to your ass. They're not all lying. That's the universe saying, bitch, do you hear the world telling you where your healing lies when you address this thing? So you know, you gotta listen to multiple messengers. You have to listen to the universe. It will tell you. And sometimes your friends, your like-minded friends, like, oh, boo, you good. But why are these other motherfuckers saying this shit to me?
Better start to listen.
That definitely goes back to not thinking you're the smartest person in the room.
Right. You the dumb bitch.
Not you are the dumb bitch.
Don't be a dumb bitch all your life.
Don't be
a workshop on that for how long? About 15 years?
I've been talking about that for a while. Don't be a dumb bitch all your life. We said we're gonna start a club.
You just gotta be the smartest one in the room.
Right. That's you, dumb bitch. No.
Exactly.
Come in.
My rule of thumb is if I hear it 2 or 3 times, then I need to take a look at
Pay
it.
attention.
Exactly. Right.
Pay attention.
What's up? God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something.
I would prefer that if you hear you got to do something. My joint don't work like that. If I hear it 2 or 3 times, it's happening. I have no control over it. I should have been bracing myself for the change. Because like life do not take it easy with me. It'd be like, this is what's happening. Are you ready? No? Okay, it's happening. It's happened. Get on the boat. Get on. Or be dragged. Because you're coming. Like I literally heard all week, fast, fast, fast. Everybody was like, I'm fasting, I'm fasting, I'm fasting, I'm fasting. I was like, that sounds good. Let me go make a sandwich. Um, and then my ear called me and was like, oh, there's a mandatory fast. You have to fast this week. I was like, God damn it. I was hungry. I want to eat.
You were like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I knew this was coming. It was just everybody was talking about it, and I was like trying to avoid it because it was coming from everywhere, and I felt like I was in a room and everybody was just saying fast, 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 and I was like, "Oh, y'all annoying."
Spirit will do that. Yeah, Spirit will
Yeah,
have
she said that. I was like, "Of course."
Yeah,
that was for me all week. Oh, that's a girl. That's the real thing. I'm not gonna sit up here act like I'm one of these people that's above not listening. I'm an asshole. Like sometimes I don't listen. Sometimes I don't do what I know I'm supposed to do. I'll be like,
Girl, hands and like Iyanla used to say, hands and feet in the air.
All of it.
Yes, Adela, you sound like you were also trying to say something.
Well, what I was going to say is, I see myself in so many people, particularly those who irritate my entire soul. It's something about seeing that, and now I'm wise enough to know, okay, damn, that's me. And I know it's me because of how it vexed my spirit. Like it just touches me in a way that I just know that that's for me. That's for me to see. That's for me to, all right, make a shift. Because if I don't like it, then clearly I'm doing this to others, and it's just showing me myself. And I know when that's happening. And again, I'm wise enough to know that, oh, that was for me. Okay, I need to do something different because this is how I make people feel based on this interaction that I'm having with someone.
Hello.
Oh yeah, I know it. I know it.
Girl,
like,
life is an amazing teacher.
But you got to be open to it. If you're not open, you'll miss it. And I missed it for years. I missed it for years.
And you will think that it's happening to you versus for you and through you.
Literally,
for you and through you.
Yep. And and I pay attention. I just pay attention to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because there are good things too. I see it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm experiencing that. Okay, this is what I'm also creating for others. And when I see those things that are not so good, I'm like, oh, I'm also creating that for others. So how do I want to show up in this world? How do I want to show up for people? So yeah.
There you go. Get some grown ass women on this show. What?
Exactly.
Took me almost 60 years to get it, but I got it.
So we are coming up on the end of our hour. Pasta, we feeling complete? Yeah, okay. I was just asking.
Wait, if they really want to be complete, then they need to sign up for Girl Get Your Life.
Sign up for Girl Get Your Life. You do not want to miss it. We'll throw that back up there so that you make sure you have the information. Just as a reminder, we stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for No Bra Wednesday. You want to make sure you check us out next week because let's see, it's going to be Money Moves with Paz. And of course, she's going to have some money stuff for you. I know that this whole we're gonna do the wrap up to
when Spirit moves me, April is financial literacy month. So who knows who's gonna come out this big mouth? I don't know.
Yes, and I know we're gonna be
with people all month doing the Boss Money series.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a recap of that Boss Money series. So that's gonna be
let me put that on up there. It started at the beginning of the month. By the time we air this, we will have, I believe, 2 more sessions left. So we'll be going over budgeting, credit, saving and investing, just the foundations. And I'm gonna throw a little. Of course, I got to throw a little financial trauma shit in there because that is the shit that we get to deal with. Like, why do you continue doing this bullshit to yourself? So let's talk about it. We're gonna be talking about it. So if you haven't been early this month, holler at me next week.
All right. So with that said, we will see you. Love
Thank
you.
y'all.
Thank you, ladies.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fresh out the oven, straight to the bank. Bentayga smelling like bank. Seats, somebody died on them. Kitty looking like somebody cried on it. Ooh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Body like cinnamon roll. Icing on the top if you got it.